Hey, I'm Walter. I'm the team lead for the IPS signature development team. It is Tuesday, August 14th. We've got 9 bulletins that cover more than 24 vulnerabilities in Office, Windows, Internet Explorer, Exchange, SQL Server, Windows Server, and Microsoft Developer Tools. So what day is it? Yes, Microsoft Tuesday. So here we go in no particular order. We'll start off with MS12-056. These are the vulnerabilities in JScript and VBScript engines. Could allow for remote code execution. The bulletin itself is rated important. It is limited to 64-bit versions of the affected software. It covers one vulnerability, and that vulnerability is shared with the IE bulletin as well. Next one is MS12-060, the vulnerability in Windows Common Controls. Could allow for remote code execution. This one is rated critical. Here it's simply a user visiting a website containing specially crafted content. There's a list of affected software and it's pretty lengthy. Really anything that included Windows Common Controls in their default install. So take a look at the bulletin and see if you're affected. There is a workaround for this that is setting a kill bit. And from the user perspective, don't open documents or web pages from untrusted, unknown, or unexpected sources. The bulletin covers one vulnerability. MS12-052, this is the cumulative security update for IE. The most severe of the vulnerabilities could allow for remote code execution. The bulletin itself overall is rated critical. If we break that down, IE 6, 7, 8, and 9 on Windows clients, those are all rated critical. For Windows servers, IE 6, 7, 8, and 9, those are all rated moderate. This should definitely be up on your must-patch list, especially if you're running IE. The attack vector here is simply a user visiting malicious websites. Again, if you're using IE, this is a priority for you. That bulletin covers 4 different vulnerabilities, and one of them is shared with the JScript and VBScript bulletin. The next one, MS12-053, this is the vulnerability in RDP. Could allow for remote code execution. It's rated critical. This is simply the attacker sending a series of crafted packets to the target. Now, RDP is not enabled by default, and systems with RDP disabled are not at risk. In this case, the bulletin only affects Windows XP Service Pack 3. It covers one vulnerability. MS12-055, the vulnerabilities in Windows Kernel-Mode drivers. This could allow for an elevation of privilege. The bulletin itself is rated important, covers one CVE. The attacker must have valid login credentials and be able to log on locally to exploit the vulnerability. Next one, MS12-057, the vulnerability in Microsoft Office. Could allow for remote code execution. It's rated important. The vulnerability could be exploited by a user opening a crafted Office doc or by embedding a specially crafted CGM file into an Office doc. So once again, don't open unknown, untrusted, or unexpected content, and don't embed that in other Office documents either. MS12-054, the vulnerabilities in Windows networking components. This is a remote code execution vulnerability. Bulletin's rated critical. There are 4 vulnerabilities included in that. One of them is a denial of service. The other 3 are remote code execution. This is just all pretty much the attacker sending crafted packets to the principal or services, or the target. Next one, MS12-059, the vulnerability in Microsoft Visio. Could allow for remote code execution. It's rated important. Here again, the user simply opens a crafted Visio file. So don't open or use untrusted, unknown, or unexpected content. The bulletin addresses one vulnerability. And to round this out, we've got MS12-058. This is the vulnerabilities in Microsoft Exchange Server Web-Ready Document Viewing. Could allow for remote code execution. Bulletin's rated critical. There are handfuls of vulnerabilities listed here. Exchange Server 2007 and 2010 are affected, and these are the Oracle outside-in vulnerabilities. So in a nutshell, the vulnerabilities can be exploited by a user viewing a specially crafted file in Outlook Web Access, just previewing the file in a browser. There are numerous CVEs in the bulletin, and each one of them address a particular file type, or more appropriately, a particular file parser. So take the time to look through the bulletin on this one, and given the prevalence of Exchange, this really should be on the top of your must-patch list for this month. And again, from the user perspective, don't look at documents you're not expecting, or at a bare minimum, be very leery of documents from unknown or untrusted sources. So that's a quick bulletin rundown. Your most patched list, I think this time, or this month around, is going to be MS12-052, that's the Internet Explorer bulletin, and then MS12-058, that's the Exchange one. And then depending on your environment, MS12-060, that's the Windows Common Controls, especially if you're using affected software. And then MS12-053, that's the RDP bulletin. Again, if you're using XP and RDP, make sure you throw that one up on the list too. So, quick rundown of this month, and we will see you next time.